This nigga be just wildin', bro. Like, he be wildin'. Like, the way he be talking to me sometimes. Like, I'm a fucking, like, goofy. Like, G. The man just be, I'm telling you, G, one day I'm just gonna fucking smack him. Like, I'm just gonna have to smack him. Like, I'm not even gonna punch him, I'm gonna just smack him in his face. Cause that's what you do when people literally disrespect you. And he don't just annoy me, cause like, motherfuckers, people annoy you every day. Like, you go to work, you do all types of whatever, relationships. He's disrespectful.
Are you listening? Damn.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 10 of Quality Konvos. It's your boy Groovy D.
It's your boy Julio the Juice Man.
Yeah, you like that intro better, don't y'all? Yeah, I know. Go ahead and tell us. Anyway, we got a few things that we wanted to talk to y'all about. First one, we just gonna go ahead and talk about the Astro World, Travis Scott.
What you rated out of 10?
I actually, out of all his work, shit, I give this one like a solid 8.
8.
Yeah.
What do you think you're ranking his albums?
Shit. What was the last one before this? Days Before Rodeo?
No, that was a
that was the mixtape.
Rodeo. It was Rodeo. Then it was Birds in the Trap Sing Night.
Okay, so that's probably still my favorite. This part.
Birds in the Trap Sing Night. What's your favorite?
That's the one with Antidote and
No, that was Rodeo.
Okay, that one probably my favorite.
Rodeo.
Yeah. This one probably like my second.
Okay.
And then
I agree.
And then the other ones under that.
Well, I mean, he only got 3. I mean, unless you count like his mixtapes with
Yeah, the mixtape I fuck with him.
Honestly, bro, I damn near fuck with Days Before Rodeo before everything.
Yeah, Days Before Rodeo was.
It was cold. Just so cold. You know
Al Farrell was cold as hell too. I just thought about that too.
I mean, he just doesn't have I'm not saying he's literally Kanye, but I'm saying like he kind of has a Kanye
vibe to him.
Not even a vibe, but because we're gonna talk about that too. But like he has a Kanye type catalog where it's not big ass like differences between his catalog. Like Kanye has No, I'm saying like Kanye, just wait, damn. Kanye has had longevity, so now we can see like the big differences between his catalog. But like 3 albums in, like Kanye was just hit. You know what I'm saying? 4 albums in, Kanye still got a hit. With Travis, Days Before Rodeo, decent. Al Farrell, decent. Rodeo, like, has he had a bad project? Is what I'm saying.
Nah, it's not a bad project, but I don't know if he necessarily switched up. Like he's as versatile as Kanye. Cause like,
okay, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is, he has a constant, is what I'm saying. Like, I don't expect Travis Scott to make a bad album, is what I'm saying. Because he hasn't made one, like,
had
like 5 projects.
I guess he's been constant. Like, sure, yeah.
But I'm saying that in the sense where, like, you know, I guess people will argue after Yeezus. But before that, it's just, like, it's kind of hard to rank them. Because, like, each one is, like...
pretty decent.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. And it's kind of how it is with this one. But, yeah, I mean, I would say I'd give it like an 8 out of 10 just because, you know, he ain't really talking about shit. Yeah. But, you know, at the same time, I don't even judge him for that because that's not his style. But what for his style, the man he's a genius. He is taking Yeezy's 808 album and just remixed the hell out of that shit. Yeah. And you know, yeah, it's just quality every time.
What was your favorite song? I was
Sicko Mode. Because Drake was on it.
Yeah.
I know you love you some Drake.
Yeah, I actually, that was the only reason.
You got a poster on your wall?
Nigga, what?
That's Drake.
The sign and everything.
You said you got it for your sister?
What?
Okay, he was talking about niggas like you.
What?
My favorite song on there is probably... it's kind of between...
Stop Trying to Be God.
Not even Stop Trying to Be God, but 5% Tent and I don't know, bro. There's so many bangers on there. Yeah, so many bangers on there. But I would say the first song I'd probably cut on off the album would be 5% Tent, just because that beat is ridiculous.
all the beats go crazy.
Juice WRLD song was pretty raw too. Yeah, it was just a good album.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm thoroughly impressed. I been waiting on this album all year. It was worth the wait. Good job for him. Yeah. Now, as far as visuals, this is one of those albums that you expect a little. You see that? You see that?
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah.
That's a little older.
My speed.
She the little whip. She ain't calling it too. She got the little red.
She got it gracefully. You feel me? That's my type.
Bricking back bullet. But anyways, yeah. So this is one of those albums where you kind of expect good visuals, because of course you want good albums to have good visuals. So the first visual that he dropped was "Stop Trying to Be God" video. Now, how did you feel about that video?
It was just a psychedelic video for me. Like I don't know.
What do you mean by psychedelic?
I don't know. It's just one of them things. Like I feel like people be tripping. Trips, like this is like one of them type of videos. Like, you know how they try to say Cole Bennett videos are more for like artsy and people be on acid and all them psychedelic drugs.
Yeah,
it was more in that realm to me, because especially towards the end when you see, like, I guess the devil and his face burning up and all the fire and flames and all the little shit like that. I'm just like, oh yeah, this is more else people tripping and feel me.
But you know, like,
awesome
I didn't even take it like that, because I didn't take it like a psychedelic video, because it's a very simple concept to me.
Okay.
And like, if anything, the video was just biblical as hell. Yeah, I mean, okay, so,
in that motherfucker,
well, the song is called "Stop Trying to Be God."
Okay.
The dude in the sky obviously is God.
Okay.
And he's basically just showing like Travis Scott trying to be God and swaying his fans a certain way, and basically going to hell for it. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like, he's God in the sky. When that fire scene, like, he was going to hell. He had a scene where he was like, you know, Moses, where he talking to the people from the hill.
Okay,
explain
the thoughts around God.
The thoughts?
Oh,
thoughts around. Oh yeah. So that was, I mean, I guess that was just.
Explain the sheep at the beginning.
Well,
like the people with sheep, those
yeah, that's
sheep.
what I'm saying. Like, but that's like as biblical as it gets. The sheep, you know, the herd of sheep. Like that's literally as biblical as it gets.
So that's what he Moses.
Yeah, like the herd of sheep. But then just the metaphor that of people being sheep, like and what I've always said is, and this is why, like, when I become an African American Studies professor one day, I want to teach a class on music, and how music is like really, really embedded in our culture, and our culture is also embedded in our music, and how we have so much influence from our music. And with the herd of sheep, it's just saying how, like, pretty much everything he talks about can be a trend, can be an influence for somebody. So with him talking about drugs and partying and stuff, I mean, that's pretty much what people listen to his music for a lot of times. People gonna start doing drugs and partying more, you know? And it's just a whole lifestyle that's, I guess, ungodly. The partying, the drinking, the drugs, the lust, you know, the people being promiscuous.
That's what you got.
Etc. But I mean, it's literally in the video. And then he had a scene where he was baptizing people.
I mean, I don't know. That don't necessarily mean, because it's art. So art is subjective.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean that's what it means, because it's in the video.
I mean, okay. So while I agree art is subjective, I mean, these are pretty clear, like, Christian.
I mean, yeah, I saw crosses.
Symbolism.
I understood that, because it said stop trying to be God, but
yeah.
You don't even know who he talking about. It could be on some personal shit. He could be talking about. I thought about it maybe from a personal aspect, but you know, you got to think about it. Okay, so he messing with Kylie or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they got the whole transgender parents or whatever. So you know how some people feel about the whole being condemned for being gay, and then this person turning into somebody else and like, you're not God, you can't tell me who I can and can't be in that aspect. Like, I don't know, it can go from anyway, because it's a lot of weird shit that goes on with a lot of. So I'm just like, you know, I don't know what he exactly means from stop trying to be God, because it could be on some personal shit from his family. Like, well, I mean, motherfuckers think that they're God, they can tell you what you can and can't do. So, you know, like, there's no limit to, you know. And
I think Kylie Jenner just being the guardian angel in the video, or like the Mary or whatever,
right?
Essentially bringing him into light. And not even just because like, oh, the Kardashians, but just more so like that is his baby's mom. This is the mother of his child. And I mean, as a responsible mother of a child, you don't want the baby's father to be out here drugged up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want him to be a good example, basically. That's kind of how I took it. Okay. With them just having a baby and things like that. Like, he had Kylie Jenner in the video for a reason. But, you know, like I said, yeah, it is subjective. So that might not be exactly what he meant. Because a lot of people were saying he could be talking to Kanye with the whole I am a guy. And he's Kanye's protege. Yeah,
so it's different angles that you can hit this
But
shit.
The Christian elements definitely.
I mean,
there,
like,
regardless.
There was a guy element so they could throw it across. It made sense.
The herd of sheep, all that, like,
it made sense. So, like, yeah, but I'm not just saying that's what certain shit meant.
Because it's a difference between what is the song about versus what is the video about. The video is definitely has, like, the video is about him literally going to hell for pretty much leading his people astray in his music. That's like, I could be wrong, but I'm 99% sure that's what that video meant. Now the song, why he made the song, his actual motivation for it, I guess that can be whatever. But it just, you know, some of the interviews he's had and how he said Kylie Jenner kind of changed him or whatnot, it kind of just goes along with the video. But, you know, who knows? But I thought it was a very very good video. I thought it was like, I think, at least from an artist standpoint, people gotta realize like what they push out, to especially like the younger generation, you know, because even from the clip that we about to play, like, you know, when a lot of non-black people see that, the first thing they want to say is, oh, well, they have a culture problem, or they have a value problem. And it's like, to be honest, we do have a culture problem, but that ain't the reason why we ultimately suffering. That's a contributor to our current situation, but that ain't the reason why we suffer. So it's just one of those things where it's like we have to realize the role we play into our own demise. And I think that's kind of like a start, that whole song, that whole video, as far as like people even realizing that they could be the sheep he's talking about. And like, they literally, you know, it's people out here that's literally just doing Zans and doing a bunch of dumb shit just because their favorite rapper is doing it. And I think that's like, people really gotta like think, you know. I understand like young impressionable minds, but you got 20-year-olds and folks that done graduated college trying to game bang and trying to pop Zans and fight their own brother and shit like that, you know. And the music definitely affects it. So yeah, I like the video. I hope we got more dope visuals, you know.
It was cool. I like the song better than I would say I like the video. The song was good, real calm. So, but yeah, moving on.
So Dr. Umar Johnson had a interview recently where he was talking. I want to say the guy was a black Frenchman. Okay. And he was basically just talking. He was asking Umar a bunch of questions about, you know, the state of Black America, the state of like, you know, Africans. Oh man, hey, I just want to let y'all know, G. One day I'm gonna beat the fuck out of Marquez, G. I swear to God, like, oh my kids, like, this nigga be just wildin', bro. Like, he be wildin', like the way he be talking to me sometimes. Like, I'm a fucking like goofy, like, G. The man just be, I'm telling you, G, one day I'm just gonna fucking smack him. Like, I'm just gonna have to smack him. Like, I'm not even gonna punch him, I'm gonna just smack him in his face. Cause that's what you do when people literally disrespect you. And he don't just annoy me, cause like, motherfuckers, people annoy you every day. Like, you go to work, you do all types of whatever, relationships. He's disrespectful. And with disrespectful people, you have to smack them in their faces. And I'm telling you, G, like, when I do it, I'm gonna like smack them so hard, and I would like have a grip on the shit. So like, I'm gonna just smack his hand down and get some shit. So I'm gonna make sure I'm near a wall or something, like, so I can just actually like
drywall.
Right, so the shit can go through that shit.
Through it.
Right, so that basically I'm gonna smack the fuck out of him, but like I'm gonna grip his shit, so I'm gonna slam his head in the wall as I'm smacking him. Like, this thing gonna be salty. He gonna be salty. He gonna be so salty, he probably ain't gonna do shit.
Like a bag of chips.
He probably ain't gonna do shit. Salty vinegar. Anyways, so yeah, so Umar Johnson had this interview with like a black Frenchman, and he was basically just discussing like, you know, black people around the globe and their status, you know, the African diaspora. So like, state of America, affairs internationally, and then he started talking about Ghana. Then he got to like Barack Obama's like purpose for his presidency, which I thought was like an interesting take. So yeah, I wanted to let you all hear that and get your thoughts on that shit. Here you go.
Barack Obama. Barack Obama was put in office for two reasons. One was domestic, one was international. Every president of America is given a domestic mandate and an international mandate. Barack Obama's international mandate was to make Africa and its resources safe again for Western exploitation. In particular, through the AFRICOM program of putting United States military bases within African soil, geographically located close to places with high levels of mineral reserve. So what's going on in Ghana right now? An agreement between the Ghanaian government and the United States to put a military base in Ghana. This is all strategic to make sure that if Africa ever decides to rise up and push back against European imperialism, aka white supremacy, they will not be in a military position to be able to do that. So Obama succeeded, and the reason he succeeded in Africa is because Africa, just like black America, just like black Europe, thought the presidency of Barack Obama was a blessing, because we don't understand white supremacy and we don't understand politics. It doesn't matter whose face is on the cover. It doesn't matter whose face is out front. The only thing that matters is the color of the hand that makes the decisions. Barack Obama was a flunky, he was a functionary, he was a stool pigeon, and he was a puppet, and yes, he was a coon. Barack Obama did absolutely nothing to benefit Africa. He did absolutely nothing to benefit African people. Now, domestically, Barack Obama's job was to distract black people in America long enough for the government to take everything that our ancestors fought for, roll it up into one big ball: civil rights, voting rights, affirmative action, equality, you name it, and roll it on over to the feminist movement, roll it on over to the LBGT movement, and roll it on over to the multicultural movement. So today in America, whenever you...
So that part right there, along with a lot of the shit, just sounds like some stuff that we've been saying in a lot of our previous shows, especially when we touched on the feminist thing. And it's just like, you gotta understand that a lot of this shit are used as buffers just to stop the whole black agenda and just the fight for black equality and justice for black people. And there's nothing wrong with, I mean, and like I said, like these little groups that they use, like in ambiguous terms that they use, is doing nothing just to keep people separated. Like you said, like there's a feminist movement, then there's a gay movement, and then there's this minority thing where everyone can be considered a minority under the umbrella. So it's just like, who's really the minority? Like a gay white man could be considered a minority, or this Asian is a minority, or this, and all of that takes away from black people and the work our ancestors put in, and all the groundwork that we put in, and all the shit that we've owed, the reparations we really owed, the hella shit that we've owed, that's owed to us. But when you make things more vague and have all these ambiguous terms, then that just takes away from the people that they really need to target.
And it's like, also we can try to prioritize, but it's hard.
Right.
It's hard to prioritize, and like, yes, everybody should have some accountability. Everybody should be able to voice their struggles. Right. However, it's the way your struggle is used to take away from somebody else's. So, for instance, okay, let's say a bomb in Syria goes off. Everybody, like, let's help. Something happened in Nigeria, some crazy girls get kidnapped. Who rooted for them?
Yeah,
Nigerians. and some black people.
Oh yeah, or any little protest. Who the front line of them protests?
Yeah.
Black people. Like we're always used for everybody else's agenda except for our own, and that shit is just annoying.
And the thing about black people that I love is that we're able to support, but however, we do have to prioritize our own things and not get distracted by this, that, and the other. Because you can be a feminist, a black feminist,
right?
You are still a black woman.
Yeah.
If you can be a gay black male,
you are still a black male first. And so that's what I'm saying. You are black first. You gotta understand what group you're on. And you gotta stop being so emotional and allowing these people to tamper with your emotions and use you to, if they benefit. So
and you know what?
And then that's the thing with the Obama thing, with being emotional, because you say Obama is a coon, Obama did this, Obama ain't really do shit, and people immediately get emotional. What? Yeah. Obama, our president, my first black, and I'm like, I understand that, but at the end of the day, you got to understand the bigger picture. You got to see the chess game that's being played, and you got to understand the moves that's being made. So while you so all in love with your first black president, the motherfuckers doing all this shit behind closed doors and pulling all these strings and using him as the puppet, because at the end of the day, y'all can say he ain't really had no power. He wasn't able to do what y'all really wanted him to do. But when Trump get in there, you say he doing all this and that, and you getting all emotional and it's hurting you and all this shit. And then you like, well, they would never have let Obama do it. And you understand that. So at the end of the day, he was being used to have you in a trance while they did what they needed to do and prepared for Trump. And then out of nowhere, they slap your ass for Trump. And you just all emotional and you hurt and you feel like the world is coming to an end and shit like that. So
have we talked about Sorry to Bother You on the show before?
Nah.
Well, it was this one underlying theme in Sorry to Bother You where when Lakeith Stanfield got on, one of the things the dude said is like, you could be the figurehead and you'll be like their MLK. And you can distract them from what the fuck's really going on, which is like the slave force. Yeah. And not saying that Obama intentionally did that. However, the thing is, like, okay, people are gonna get emotional when you call like their hero a coon or whatnot. Yeah. But this is what people gotta understand on both sides. So if you call an Obama a coon, you have to think about the fact that, well, yeah, if you call an Obama a coon versus if you get emotional when they call Obama a coon, think about the fact that Obama, the system that he would even be trying to destroy is much, much, much bigger than him. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, let's just say Martin Luther King with Malcolm X. They ain't finna let him do that. You know what I'm saying? And it's also like, people got to be accountable too. And one of the most genius things you've ever said is the fact that we have to create our own economy. Yeah. And that's what he was saying. Like Umar John, he was saying like the solution is our own economy. And we can't get mad when gay people get legislation, when they, giving money towards whoever is passing these laws. Right. Same thing with LGBTQ. Well, yeah, that is LGBTQ. But like the feminist movement, like people are like fundraising and getting together and forming a community of solidarity. And I think that, like, of course, black people aren't monolithic, but we do have to get on some same page if we want to, like, certain things done. And although as a black man, Obama should just want to do that for us, he is a representative of a bigger country that doesn't really fuck with us. So we can't be surprised, So coon wouldn't be an unfitting name. I mean, I feel like we all coon at some point.
I mean, at the end of the day, we all got some deep, something got a hold on you. Shit. What's
trauma?
The word? Nah, it's just some deep loyalty to like white supremacy to a certain degree, because it's just so deeply embedded in us. Yeah. Just to love our master, and just to because so at the end of the day, it's a process to take this 400 years worth of just conditioning out of you or whatever. So, but at the end of the day, certain people are screened and just fit perfectly for the position, because there's little theories and so forth about the Obama being the perfect person, with his one half being white, then the other half being Nigerian. So I'm sorry, African, but with Kenyan, whatever. But just with him having that African root, and then that white side. So it's just like he's the best of both worlds for him to appeal to the African community, and then at the same time you appeal to this white side, and then the American side, and then you have the tactics of the Americans, and then you have the loyalty of the African. So it's just like you're just the perfect combination for that presidency. I'm not saying that that he was handpicked, but it's just the perfect match. But at the end of the day, let's go ahead and just finish playing the clip and see what else he had to say. But I just wanted to stop there and just voice those little opinions real fast.
They in America, whenever you hear civil rights discussed, black people are not in the conversation. It's gays, it's feminism, or it's multiculturalism. They use Barack Obama to take everything black people fought for and give it to people who have never fought for black people.
What do you know about the situation of black people in France?
I'm somewhat familiar because I tend to study the international situation. Not thoroughly familiar, but I will say this. In all my travels, wherever I go, there's 4 things constant. I don't care if I'm in France, London. I don't care if I'm in South Africa, Nigeria. I don't care if I'm in Holland, Austria, Jamaica, Turks and Caicos, Canada, LA, Houston. On the planet, there's 4 constants for African people. Number 1, we're worshiping a white Jesus. I don't care where you go. Black people in love with a white Christ. That's number 1. Number 2, you have mass incarceration of black males at a rate 4 or 5 times their percentage of the population in that particular state. Number 3, you have miseducation of black children. You have the over-identification of black children in classifications of mental retardation, ADHD, learning disabled. You have record numbers of single black mothers raising our children on their own, okay? And then on top of that, you also have a black economy, which is totally dominated by people who do not look like us. I don't care where you go on the planet, black people are not in control of their economy. Your rice, your bread, your milk, your sneakers, your hats, your clothing, your transportation, your electronics, everything you buy is being sold to you by somebody who don't look like you, but more importantly, don't care about you.
What would be the solutions? Because
So I can just completely agree with that one right there. Just from growing up in
this is a statement. But now what?
Okay. All right. Just growing up in the city and just understanding, just as I got older, when I look around and I just see all the businesses that were in my community and the people who were providing the resources for me and the people in my community, none of them were black people for the most part. There were a few who I was surrounded by, who I was fortunate enough. I was able to go to a little school. It was black-owned school. That was the only thing I was able to get an example of. For the most part, there were Indian gas stations, Subways, Asian beauty shops and salons, restaurants and salons and all that shit. So there were all these other minorities, quote unquote, service in my community, but no black people. So I was, just seeing that psychologically just messes with black people, just never seeing ownership and never understanding that black people can own something and be in an ownership position. And so that can affect your psyche right there. Just always thinking that you have to buy from other people and you have to be a consumer, and that you always have to go to other people for things that you need.
It's trust too.
And
it's one of the reasons why we mistrust each other.
Yeah, that can be another reason why.
And that's not even just black people. That's everybody.
Yeah.
You would rather buy something from a white man in a suit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's actually ridiculous, like how deep that just thought process is, as far as like who people willing to consume from. Because you see all these support black business, this is why I don't support black business, how these shorts gonna cost $30, but let us say Fendi on it, let us say Prada on it,
and
let us say
you'll take that shit back,
and
you'll work with somebody else in their business rather than working with somebody else. Because you got to start from somewhere. Like I keep saying too, everything starts off small. You start with a seed, then it eventually grows into like a big plant or whatever. Like you got to work with people from where they at too. You got to understand where we're at as people and understand that we're not just gonna have it like that. But if we're not doing doing complete, like, you know, just straight nigga business or whatever, and people are trying to put forth an effort, you got to be willing to work with people and work with them until they can grow and build that into something where you can send your kids to, and they'll be able to support you and your family and have businesses and opportunities and so forth for the community. But yeah, people just not willing to work with each other, and they don't trust. Like, that's another thing, they don't trust.
And it's just messed up because, like, recently Rahm Emanuel said the reason why we have so many numbers of shootings in our communities in Chicago is because of a lack of values.
Yeah.
But you the same man that closed down all those public schools, no restoration plan, pretty much just left kids out here to fucking dry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't give a fuck about our communities. Half the people don't even see you. You know what I'm saying? Like, how dare you? You know what I'm saying? Like, and these people are so educated. Like, they got all these college degrees and this, that, and the other, but they can't understand the problems in our community. They can't understand the privileges that their children are getting and why they turn out a certain way.
Yeah, that's actually so funny because I seen a commercial on cable. I don't know if it was HBO Stars. I'm really looking to watch this movie because it's hit home so hard. It was a movie. It looked like they coming out with a documentary basically about Chicago, and it's actually about the school OPRF. So I grew up in the Austin community, so I'm right next to OPRF. So it's basically talking about the racism that the kids are dealing with right here home in Chicago or Oak Park or whatever, but it's the difference in education or the type of what is it, the attention that the teachers give the black kids versus the white kids. Like, I heard it was like in the, what was it, the commercial, I'm having my brain first and all shit, but in the commercial the teacher was basically talking about, when I approach a black student, I already have a certain mindset and I already assume that they are at a certain disadvantage, so I approach them as such. So yeah, basically, so I already assume that they're disadvantaged so much, so I already, you know,
like the teacher,
stereotype them. Chris. Yeah, so I already stereotype basically. Yeah. Basically, like, yeah. Basically.
I know your mom's.
I know, right. Right.
Gee.
I know you're on welfare. You can't afford to eat.
Gee.
So I'll give you an extra couple crackers because I know, like,
this ain't really got nothing to do with nothing. But yeah, speaking of that charity case shit, like, so I remember when I was in 5th grade, like, my white teacher was like finding a way to like relate to me and shit.
Right.
Why does bitch tell me I look like Twister, bro? I was, it was
came
just
out.
hilarious.
That was the last thing she remembered.
Bro, I'm just like, my God, like,
Twister.
You trying, but bitch.
I guess.
Twister.
Is that your uncle?
Literally, like, you know the rapper Twister. Twister.
I know you know.
I know you know. Twister. A glass.
Bitch, you trying to mimic him?
But yeah, so but you know, like, yeah, like, it's just so crazy, man. Like how people can just like ignore all the problems in our community that are a direct effect of marginalization, with the prison industrial complex, the lack of education, people not investing in our education but investing in prisons, exaggeration. I mean, it's just too much to name. I could do this shit all day, but it's just the audacity of folks, like, to really ignore all of that and then try to say it's a lack of values. Like, for real. Well, yeah, it is a lack of values, but it's a lack of values for the very reasons that I stated. And you play a major part in it as our fucking mayor, but whatever. Get these motherfuckers the fuck out of office. Like, this is shit crazy. But yeah, man. I'll let you. You started it, so.
Man, I'm just gonna
finish that shit, player.
Go ahead and let y'all know, as black people, as black individuals. We just need to do better. No. But at the same time, yeah, we just, like I keep saying every episode, man, we gotta unify, get on code more, pull them resources together, pull our financial dollars together, get all of our black elites and intellects and all these degree holders to go back to these communities which you have abandoned, and
stop dating white women.
I mean, you know, all that type of whatever. No, I ain't super against that. If you ain't a white supremacist, then you cool with me. But but yeah, I mean, you know, we just got to yeah, just get more codified and unified and pull our resources together. But that's episode 10 for y'all. We gonna talk to y'all later next week. Yeah, baby. Peace.
Be smooth.
Be smooth.